Hey guys, let's go. Been watching the footage on the expansion of Israel as they doing some clearance before they expand outwards a little bit more, get their living space. Yeah. First of all, congratulations to the American military. That strike on the girls' school was awesome. Yeah, 40 plus young schoolgirls. You did well there, America. Certainly beat the RAF. That time we blew up that tea lady pushing the tea trolley in Belgrade. I thought that was brave, but this was even better. Should we have a look at a bit of a footage, guys?
According to this one, the US and Israel attacked murdered 40 young schoolgirls. Probably was an accident, or maybe Hamas had some, something to do with that.
Well, that's going to win you a lot of support, isn't it, America? I thought you were going to help the Iranian people overthrow their tyrannical regime, not kill their daughters. Or were they nuclear scientists? See, I don't get it. I really don't get it. It was only a few months ago that they said they destroyed Iranian nuclear facilities when they bombed shit out of them with them big heavy bomb, what they call them? Bunker buster bombs, yeah? Put all the footage up. So what was this about? Who does it benefit? I don't know. Let's go have a look, is there? I'm going to put a link in to where this information here came from. It's Emil Kosman. If you want to know what's happening in the Middle East, or really anywhere in the world, and who's behind the trouble, Emil Kosman will tell you. I did a video of him once. I said that he was one of the bravest men on the planet. Along with that black comedian, Dave Chappelle. Check out that video, you like that? Anyhow, laughing again. Well, you never find me really crying. Although you might at the end. Okay, let's get on with it, Paul. Paul. I don't know what Tucker's laughing for. There's nothing to laugh about, but let's see what they're talking about.
Who benefits if we bomb Iran? This is scary. Okay, yeah. Here's the latest. We have the largest force amassed in the Middle East since 2003. The deployment is unlike anything the U.S. has done since 2003 when it amassed the forces behind the invasion of Iraq. We've shifted more than 150 aircraft to bases in Europe and the Middle East. I don't know how you pronounce it, but there's an airbase we have in Jordan that's been a key destination for U.S. air assets streaming into the region. More than 60 warplanes were visible in satellite imagery taken Friday. More than a dozen F-35 fighter jets lined up on a tarmac. Roughly a third of all active U.S. ships are now in the region. Warships in the area also equipped with hundreds of Tomahawk missiles. Aircraft carriers accompanied by guided missile destroyers and various aircraft and helicopters. The USS Abraham Lincoln, USS Gerald R. Ford. The Lincoln has not publicly broadcast its location for more than a week, but it's believed to be operating somewhere near Oman. Gerald R. Ford spotted off the Greek island of Crete on Monday. And I could go on. Somewhere Lindsey Graham just got a chill down his spine, and that special little feeling just at the list of that military buildup. Tucker, you're having a different feeling. So am I. I don't get it. I got to be honest. I don't get it. Because we were just told by the president in July, I covered it at length, you didn't want him to go into Iran with those bombs in July. We did. I was fine with it. I was like, whatever. Okay, fine. Let's take out the military facility or the nuclear facility. And then when they said they destroyed it, I didn't know. I saw the conflicting reporting on whether we did or we didn't. But the president certainly said we did. And now here we are 6 months later saying we have to go back in to stop the nuclear program. The one that we just allegedly bombed and destroyed a few months ago.
Right.
I watched a debate on Piers Morgan today with two pro-Israel folks and two anti. And the pro-Israel woman was saying, yeah, Israel benefits. This is definitely good for Israel. Of course we want this.
Right.
I accept that. I've heard you say on your show.
Who benefits? Megan said it. Israel benefits. Let's carry on.
Great, no problem. But what do we get out of it? Like, that's fine for them to want it and advocate. What do we get out of it? Why is President Trump considering this?
I don't think the president wants to do it. I think he's been really clear about that. I spoke to him the other day. He didn't say anything to me that he doesn't say in public all the time. Trump is amazingly transparent in that way. I've spoken to him a lot. I speak to him regularly a lot, and he never says anything that he wouldn't say in the middle of a speech. There's no there's no secret agenda that I've ever detected. And he said, I don't want to do this. I want a diplomatic solution. I don't want to go to war. I ran against going to war. I don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. That's what he says in public and in private, on the phone and in person and on stage. And so I believe it. Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. It doesn't have the means to get a nuclear weapon. If it had a nuclear weapon to the United States, Mark Levin said 3 days ago in his podcast, they've got nuclear tipped ICBMs. That's a lie. He should be removed from his job for saying that because it's untrue, and he knows it's untrue. This is not about protecting the United States.
Among many other reasons.
Well, that's right. But this is incredibly high stakes. I mean, I could go on for an hour about what could go wrong in this war if it takes place. I think it's likely to take place, but it's not assured. The president decides, and he has not made that decision. But all things being equal, it will happen. And you could see massive disruption to the U.S. economy. You could see a lot of Americans die. There are tens of thousands in the region, both military and non-military. And you could see some of our closest allies in the world, the Gulf states, who supply the energy for civilization around the world, you could see them disabled by this. And then you could see massive refugee crises around the world because the plan is to take out the leadership of Iran, but there's no plan after that. So it would be an open wound, 92 million people on a huge landmass, and that would continue the invasion of Europe by immigrants. A lot of them would wind up in the Gulf states directly across the Persian Gulf, and a lot of them would wind up here in the United States. So there's kind of no upside. But here's the way to think about it. We're looking at it through the wrong frame. This is not about protecting the United States, obviously. It's not about even protecting Israel. If you're Israel and your main goal is not to get hit and to keep your cities safe, the last thing you're going to do is try to provoke Iran into lobbing ballistic missiles into your country. You would never do that. No, this is about sweeping away any opposition to Israel's regional hegemony. Israel believes, as the only nuclear armed power in the Middle East, that it should have control over the region. And by the way, I'm not attacking them. Every nuclear armed power feels that way. We feel that way. What's going on in South America? We have a right to weigh in on that because we're the big dog. They feel that way. And what stands in their way? Well, Iran primarily, also Turkey, and then the 6 Gulf energy-producing monarchies, primarily Qatar, because they're disobedient. They don't follow Israel's lead on a lot of different things. And this war, and of course the United States, because the United States is constantly telling Israel, you can do this, you can't do that. Trump's like, no, you can't take over the entire West Bank and kick all the Christians out or whatever. The United States is a constraint on Israel. So they want the U.S. out of the region. Why wouldn't they? And they're, of course, pivoting to India. Israel has decided it needs a superpower to exist. It's only 9 million people. It's a really small country. So they have to be in alliance with a larger nuclear armed power. They have to, or they won't exist. And they've picked India. Prime Minister Modi was in the Knesset yesterday and meeting with Netanyahu yesterday. And that is the plan. Israel will pivot from the United States to India. And I don't think anyone's even pretending that's not happening because support for Israel in the United States is going down. So this is the last opportunity for Israel to use the U.S. military to sweep away one of the few remaining speed bumps on the way to controlling the entire Middle East and having hegemony. And what does that mean? Well, Israel would like to expand its borders through the Levant into Syria. They're already taking land there, and into Lebanon, same thing, and maybe even extending farther north from that. But Israel wants to be physically larger Every country does. We do. This is just a feature of human nature. But they want to be larger, and they can't because Iran's in the way, Qatar's in the way, the U.S. is in the way, and Turkey's in the way. So one by one, they're diminishing them. Does anyone think America will be stronger after this war? Of course not. America will be weaker. We can't afford it. We have no money.
We don't know how long it will last.
Of course
All the
not.
reports in the news are that even Dan Raisin Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, has been saying this could easily spin into a very prolonged quagmire. President Trump truthed out, that's not true. He'll do whatever I ask him to. He's ready to go. All he knows how to do is win. But I mean, it's been reported in multiple papers now that Kane is saying this is fraught. This could be
I don't know anyone
thing. And
who doesn't feel that way. No one in the Pentagon. I've talked to a bunch of people in the Pentagon. We don't have the munitions for this, okay? Just to be, and this has, again, been reported publicly.
What do you think? Why? Why? Well, they said, didn't they? This is what our friends want, you know. You see them around the internet. We've spoke about them. Pointless me speaking about them anymore. I had a comment. Someone said, why do I hate them? As if I have to explain. Can they not go and open their eyes and see what's being done in their name? Never mind though, God will bless us if we help them, like we help those 40 young schoolgirls. Okay guys, you've been listening to Paul Morris, the Green Arrow. See you in the morning, if we still have a world.